Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my WWE Smackdown review for November 13th, 2018. And I gotta say, this was a hell of a show. The ending definitely left me with a shock. I was not expecting that ending. But um, I thought it was a hell of a show. So I'm gonna start off by talking about SmackDown. So AJ Styles comes out to do a promo, and he talks about how his match with Brock Lesnar coming up at Survivor Series, and he talks about how he was a different person when he faced Brock Lesnar a year ago. Um, since he's faced him, he has had dream matches. He's had people try to get inside his head, and he's had just a great run as WWE champion. But he said that he's going to defeat Brock Lesnar and utilize the second chance and make the most out of it. And then Paul Heyman comes out, and I liked how he came out to the crowd and asked for a mic. And Paul Heyman says that there's nobody that Brock Lesnar's looking forward to taking Suplex City more than AJ Styles. And he also says that AJ Styles pretty much is the second best superstar in WWE behind Daniel Bryan. And obviously, um, this was obviously planting the seeds for what was going to happen later on in the night. And then AJ Styles says that um, when Brock Lesnar beat him last year, he just barely beat him because he had him limping. And since they faced off, he's been tapping people out. And one of the people that he's tapped out is Daniel Bryan. And he gives Daniel Bryan a ton of respect. And but he's not the phenomenal one. And he's going to beat Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. And you think the segment's going to be over, but then Daniel Bryan comes out, and he says that he's been waiting for a reason to punch AJ Styles in the face, and he tells AJ Styles that if he mentions his name again, he'll deck him in the face. And then AJ Styles said, "So if somebody asks me who I think the best wrestler in the world is, and I say Daniel Bryan, are you going to punch me in the face?" And this makes Daniel Bryan want to punch AJ Styles in the face, and they get into a huge brawl. And referees and Shane McMahon try to come out and break up this fight. Shane McMahon looks so bad trying to break up this brawl. It was just so bad. And um, that was the opening segment. I thought it was a hell of an opening segment, though. I really liked it, and obviously it did a really good job of setting up the ending of the show. And then Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, and Paige are backstage. And Shane McMahon's pissed at Daniel Bryan that he went out there and attacked AJ Styles, and SmackDown's got to stay united tonight. And then AJ Styles comes in, and everybody starts yelling at each other. They try to brawl again. It gets broken up. And Shane McMahon, because they want to get Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles want to fight each other, makes a WWE Championship match between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, and he makes that for the main event of the show. I like this. I liked all this stuff. It was done very well. Then we had the first match on the show. It was Andrade Cien Almas with Selena Vega versus Jeff Hardy. I thought this was a pretty good match here. Jeff Hardy wins with a Swanton Bomb. And then The Miz is backstage with Paige watching this match with the rest of Team SmackDown. And we find out that Daniel Bryan is no longer going to be the co-captain of SmackDown. The Miz is just going to be a single captain. And I was going to bash on this about why they took Daniel Bryan, off the SmackDown team, but then it makes sense later on in the show. And the Miz wants to, and he has to pick another a final pick, and he picks Jeff Hardy because he looked impressive. And the Miz wants to get rid of Rey Mysterio because it wasn't his pick, it was Daniel Bryan's pick, and Paige doesn't let that happen. So she makes a match, The Miz versus Rey Mysterio, where if Rey Mysterio loses, he's off the men's team on SmackDown. And they have a match. It was first Shinsuke Nakamura cuts an interview and he talks about how Seth Rollins has to pay attention to him or he's gonna hit a knee to the face. I don't think that's what he said, but that's what he implied. So that's what I'm gonna say. And then we had The Miz versus Rey Mysterio. I thought this was a good match. Um, Rey Mysterio wins with a 619 into the splash, so he stays on Team SmackDown. But I thought it was a pretty good match. And then we find out Becky Lynch's future. A lot of people are probably wondering, um, you know, what Becky Lynch's future is gonna be, and a lot of people wondering why I have that titled. Well, if you've been keeping track with wrestling news sites the past few days, and if you would watch in the beginning of the show, we found out that Becky Lynch is not cleared to wrestle at Survivor Series. When she was busted open on Raw, she ended up getting stiffed by Nia Jax, so fuck you, Nia Jax. WWE really needs to just fire Nia Jax. This is like not the third time, um, you know, she's injured somebody, and they just really need to get rid of Nia Jax because it's just ridiculous. But so Becky Lynch can't compete because she has a fractured face and a concussion. I don't remember if they said concussion, if it was a possible concussion, but she can't compete at Survivor Series. So we have to find out Becky Lynch's replacement. Um, and one of my friends told me he went and watched Cultaholic, which obviously you can check out that YouTube channel, that Becky Lynch has a history of concussions and she had to retire at one point due to concussions. That's why she was away from professional wrestling for the amount of time that she was. So I really hope it's not that serious. Um, but Paige is out there and she brings out the entire SmackDown Women's roster, and Becky Lynch comes out and she cuts a promo talking about how she's a badass and talks about how Ronda Rousey really isn't the baddest bitch in the world. Um, she's the luckiest bitch in the world, or something like that. And I actually like this. Becky Lynch has to turn face now. She acted like a face out here, and if she does not turn face, then what the hell is WWE doing? But she has to pick her replacement for Survivor Series, and she picked Charlotte Flair, which I thought, which I think makes sense. It does kind of suck that they're giving away this match that was supposed to take place at WrestleMania, but quite frankly, if you think about it, it makes sense to do this because it really Charlotte Flair was the best choice out of all these women. The only other person that you could have picked was Asuka, but Asuka really has been pretty badly booked since she lost at WrestleMania, and obviously since she lost to Carmella those couple times. So I think Charlotte Flair makes the most sense. And if it was me, I would have Charlotte Flair beat Ronda Rousey. That way, you could build up to a rematch at WrestleMania, and you could also build up that maybe Ronda Rousey's getting vulnerable. If you're not going to do that, then have Ronda Rousey win, and then have Becky Lynch beat Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Have Becky Lynch drop the SmackDown Women's title at TLC, if she's cleared to wrestle by then, and have her win the Royal Rumble and face Ronda Rousey. Because, quite frankly, I think that match would make sense to happen at WrestleMania, and I would love to see it. So, and then have Becky Lynch beat Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania, and then she goes over to Raw. Because Becky Lynch really has nothing left to do on SmackDown anyways. I'd imagine after the Superstar shakeup, she's probably just going to get traded to Raw. So why not just put Becky Lynch on Raw with the championship? I think it makes sense. Um, and then Charlotte Flair gets interviewed about facing Ronda Rousey, and she says she's going to do this in honor of Becky Lynch. So you can see, I think Becky Lynch is babyface now. She has to be. And then we had Showbar versus The New Day. Didn't care about this match. It was just there. I don't like things that are just there. So, yeah. Um, the Showbar win. Not talking about it anymore. And then the rest of the tag team divisions backstage, it was the Usos, I almost said the Colons, but the Colones, the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Sanity, without Nikki Cross. So I don't know if that was just a one-off thing when Nikki Cross was just called up last week. Um, and Sanity and somebody else. Oh, I think that's it. Um, and they said that they're going to put their differences aside to face the Raw tag teams at Survivor Series kickoff. And looking at these teams, I'd imagine that SmackDown has an easy win on that one because the Raw Tag Team division is a joke. SmackDown's got the Usos, the Colognes, Gallows and Anderson, and um, Sanity. And obviously the New Day. I mean, SmackDown's Tag Team division is just stacked. Um, both are great teams. I actually like the Colognes. They're a good team, but they're not, nearly the caliber of Sanity, the Usos, and the Good Brothers, and the New Day. But I do like the Colognes. And then we had the main event. It was a WWE Championship match. WWE Champion AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. Hell of a match. It's really tough for me to say whether I like this match better or the match they had on SmackDown on the Go Home show before Crown Jewel. I might say that match just because it had a little bit more time and I just thought that match was a little bit better. But I liked what they did here a little bit better. So they have the match. AJ Styles targets the leg of Daniel Bryan. Bryan targets the shoulder. They're having that typical face versus face match, and they had a lot of really cool moves. And I thought it was a hell of a match. I can't do the match justice. Go watch the match when it gets released online or if you DVD'd it or whatever. But then let's talk about the finish. So AJ Styles, after he's put Bryan in the calf crusher, Bryan's put him in the yes lock and the cross arm breaker and all that stuff. Goes for the phenomenal forearm. Bryan moves out of the way and he accidentally takes out the official. And when the official's down, Daniel Bryan low blows AJ Styles and hits the running knee, gets the win, wins the WWE Championship, and then afterwards beats the crap out of AJ Styles, and Daniel Bryan turns heel and wins the WWE title. So now at Survivor Series, it's going to be WWE Champion Daniel Bryan versus WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. I gotta say, I'm shocked. I did not see this coming, and I don't know how I feel about this yet. I kind of like this because Daniel Bryan, it makes sense because Daniel Bryan could say, that he's fought for a while to win this title, and just the way that Daniel Bryan looked, I think he's going to be a sick heel. I don't think he'll be like the same heel that he was when he first won the World Heavyweight Championship back in 2011, 2012. I think he's going to be like a psychotic heel. And Daniel Bryan got booed. Um, I kind of like this. I actually kind of want to see what Daniel Bryan's going to be like as a heel. Um, it is interesting though because Daniel Bryan's like the number one baby face in WWE, and um, his yes chant was really over and stuff, and he sells a lot of merchandise. So why are they turning him heel? I kind of really know that part of it. So like I said, I'm gonna kind of wait and let this play out. If you would ask me right here, right now, though, I like the decision. Um, the fact that they're doing Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan, though, I'm a little worried about because um, Daniel Bryan, even though he's medically cleared to wrestle and stuff, I do worry about him taking those German suplexes again and again from Brock Lesnar. However, I'm excited to see that match because it's a match I've wanted to see. We were probably supposed to have that match at SummerSlam 2014 when Daniel Bryan was the WWE World Heavyweight Champion and Brock Lesnar was going on his reign of terror. Um, so I'm excited about it. Brock Lesnar's still probably gonna win, but which will kind of hurt Daniel Bryan a little bit since he just turned heel. But yeah, I liked it, but it happens at a weird time. This is why I hate the fact that Survivor Series is Raw versus SmackDown because now it's like a weird booking decision that they chose to do this because we have two heels going at in the Raw versus SmackDown match. It's really weird because I'd imagine Bryan's gonna be face, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm excited. I'm excited, and we didn't get a Monday Night Raw invasion, but we didn't really need it because we had this angle to close out the show, and I just thought, that would have just kind of timbered that. I also liked it too because we had a finish. I actually was thinking like Raw was going to invade and cause a non-finish, but I kind of like that they went with the finish. And I guess AJ Styles isn't wrestling at Survivor Series, which is really weird. Um, because he's not going to obviously be in the men's match unless Shane McMahon steps out of it. And what's also really weird about this, I also did forget to cover one thing. Randy Orton tried to attack Rey Mysterio. It didn't work. He got KO'd Miz. There you go. It's really weird about this, though. There had been news circulated that the men's 5-on-5 Survivor Series match was going to change, but it was going to be Shane McMahon that was going to be replaced by Randy Orton. And it's very interesting that the card changed dramatically because now at Survivor Series, it's Team SmackDown's captained by The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and Shane McMahon. And now instead of it's AJ Styles facing Brock Lesnar, it's going to be Daniel Bryan facing Brock Lesnar. I think that makes sense. And that was SmackDown. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed SmackDown. I mean, I think SmackDown has just continues to deliver week after week. I don't really recall a time that there's been a bad SmackDown. And also, I gotta say this too before I finish my review. Now it makes sense why Daniel Bryan was taken out of the men's Survivor Series match. Because I was texting my friend, and I was like, why is Daniel Bryan out of the Survivor Series match? This doesn't make any sense. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. Because he was winning the title later on in the night, so obviously there's that. But why is AJ Styles not competing at Survivor Series now? Is he going to do like a run-in now where he attacks Daniel Bryan when he's about to beat Brock Lesnar, when he has him in the yes-lock, and they'll do a DQ finish, which I would be a fan of that, but, obviously, because I imagine he's going to tie into Survivor Series somehow, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Is he going to cost Daniel Bryan the match? I don't know what's going to happen now. But I am happy we're getting a fresh match in Survivor Series. And my interest in Survivor Series, I gotta say, based off SmackDown, has gone up tremendously now that we're getting Brock versus Daniel Bryan and the SmackDown Survivor Series matches changed. It has gone up a little bit. I'm excited about it. So, that's that. That's pretty much the end of this video. So I didn't get to do a letter grade. I'm gonna give SmackDown an A-. I thought it was a fantastic show. I might be overrating it, but it might be one of those things where in hindsight I'll say probably wasn't an A- show, but whatever. I'm giving it an A-. The only thing I can really think about that I hated on this show, was probably Nakamura's interview, but that really wasn't, anything special. And Showbar versus the New Day. Everything else I was fine with. I liked almost Jeff Hardy. I liked the Daniel Bryan stuff, and that took up pretty much the whole show. And I also liked Miz versus Mysterio. Fantastic show. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content. Click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and I want the Talking 80 YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.